Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Join the Dots, being recorded Wednesday morning, just so that you know I'm not absolutely up to date with the market, but then I don't have to be because I'm not a trader. I go for the journey. Right, so yes, the Union Jack is back, and this is an advert for anyone in the UK. If you don't come out and show yourself on Saturday, then sorry, you don't deserve the old England that we used to have. You have to come out and show yourself. You have to show the politicians that the people need to be listened to. You don't walk, you won't be able to talk. That's how I see it. So that's on Saturday the 13th. I'm going to give you a link to the Tommy Lawrence. Now don't think it's a Tommy Lawrence event. It's not. Okay, it's not. It's about whether you can have free speech in the future. Okay, that's what it's about. So forget the branding. Branding is an illusion, deception, distraction, deflection to try and stop you taking part. You need to take part. You need to show that you are with the flag. Right, we've got 6 on wealth today and 3 on health, and I'm going to whiz through them if I can. Okay, first of all, second link, ETFs. We'll see XRP to $50. Little discussion there between Paul Barron and Jake Claver. That's a link. The second link, and again, jobs. All right. Here is Steve, and I forget his surname for the moment, and he often works in collusion with Eurodollar University. And here's a link to a very short video, 1 million phantom jobs to go. Yes, another million false phantom, never happened, official jobs will go in America. I'm not sure this could be repeated elsewhere. I just think that America's data now is as reliable as China's. Because what you've seen over 30, 40 years is the incremental creeps being allowed to incrementally creep the data to something that isn't true. Remember what I said to you about shadow stats? John Williams runs that business, shows you that inflation in the States is 8% higher than the CPI. So the CPI is 2.6. He comes up with 11%. And that's what the poor are paying and the middle class. The rich, it doesn't matter. Inflation's irrelevant. How much of their money do they spend each month? None, in effect. The poor and the middle class are being screwed by false data, which they create. Yes. So 1 million jobs likely to disappear. Wait for the announcement. I think it comes tomorrow. Save England, I've talked about. Please, if you're in England, make a bloody effort, for goodness sake. This is probably your last chance to make a stand. Number 4, Alasdair Macleod, another link. Short interview, 3-4 minutes. Couple of Australian brothers who have their site down in Australia. And they're talking to Alasdair Macleod about the point of no return. Debt in most countries has gone past the point of no return. It doesn't matter how much austerity they apply, because the money is not being used productively, is it? It's being used either to fuel consumption or inflate assets. Yes, inflation is good for the rich because their assets, their massive property, their huge share portfolio, their investment in individual companies, maybe private equity, maybe private credit, they all go up. But what does the money actually do for the economy? Very little. Can you get that? We go back again and again and again to the same principle. Inflation hurts the poor the most. So that's a good one on Alasdair Macleod, though, because he talks about the point of no return and why debt is past that point of no return, because no countries now are using debt productively. They're not using it to create manufacturing, create jobs, create a better environment. They're not. They're wasting it on consumption and inflation. So Alasdair sees a lot of countries now in 3 times GDP. The debt levels, if you're honest, if you take into account all the debt, okay, maybe 3 times GDP. And Alasdair Macleod, as you know, sees gold at any price really. Because once this goes, and I keep coming back to this, once it goes, once the public wake up, once the politicians have to accept that they've got it all wrong for the last 30, 40 years, there's going to be a crisis like we've never seen before, a financial crisis that eclipses '08. Or, well, probably leading into the new financial system, which we've talked about. Hence, I have gold, silver, and some crypto. Okay, so that's 4 on wealth. 3 on health, quickly. And I know you don't want to hear it, but you've got to hear it. Because if you don't base your life on the truth, then what are you basing it on? A lie. Okay, so Trump has posted for the 2nd time now on vaccines. And this is an interview with a doctor talking about the amount of mercury in vaccines. So he started off very gently by saying about Pfizer in his first tweet on Truth Social, show the people the truth. You've shown me some data, why aren't you showing the same data to the world? That was the first one. Now we've got a second one, which is about mercury within vaccines, much more prevalent in America than other countries. But watch the link. So it's only a few minutes. It's only a few minutes, okay? And then we have, I think, a beautiful one, and I think this one's more important than anyone understands from just looking at it. This is a grilling by Senator Ron Johnson of an expert. I think he's from Harvard, but he's from one of the major colleges or major universities or major medical schools. He didn't have one answer because there is not one fact that backs up the vaccines. This obscure claim of saving millions of lives made by the WHO or the UN or WEF or Bill Gates or whatever, it is absolute poppycock, to use an English word. It's poppycock. And out comes McKiernan's data. Now, McKiernan's data, I've seen, Kevin McKiernan, I've seen this data for 2 years. It's only getting to the public ears now. And even then, you might not watch it. I can't make you. Kevin McKiernan's data is frightening. And I've said it before, it's about how the lipid nanoparticles, which are used in the mRNA vaccine, are used to transport the spike protein into your body. And what they are is they're encapsulated in fat. And that fat hits your cell fat and it merges, and then the cell opens and in goes the spike protein, and it makes that cell a factory for more spike protein. That's as simple as I can make it. I've known that for 2 years because I look and I find and I want the truth. And then the last one on health, there is a Robert Malone, MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, a report. It's about your children. Make our children healthy again. It's not about taking more vaccines and drugs, it's about making children healthy. Please, if you have children, go to the link. It's Robert Malone. It's a full description of the strategy that Kennedy and the good guys now want to bring into the American health system. Right, back to money, back to gold. Okay, so here's a little video which shows that if 20% of the treasuries that are held at the moment, and as you know, China doesn't want them, India doesn't want them, UK seems to be saddled with them, not doing much about it, and hasn't got any gold. Well done, UK. Yeah, you lose again. It's all a plan. It's all a plan. March on Saturday, September the 13th. March will be shut up for the rest of your life. So, treasury, if 20% of treasuries in the world were switched to gold, the estimate is that gold would rise to $9,000. I see that. As I've told you many times, my estimate for gold is 8,000 to 10,000. That's where I see the price settling at a new level as we go into the future. If you do a 54-year analysis, and no financial advisor is going to accept this, just like the Harvard doctor doesn't accept the fact that he knows nothing about health and vaccines. He knows nothing. He has no information at all on the constituents and how it works. Nothing. And this is the same with financial advisors. Because the S&P reinvesting all dividends back into the S&P, so you sit there for 54 years with an S&P portfolio, every dividend is reinvested, you would not have as much money as someone who sat on gold. Yes, it's a fact. 54 years. Since 1971, since America came off the gold standard with Richard Nixon. Okay? If you invested and bought gold then, and bought the S&P then, and reinvested every dividend you ever received from the S&P, you'd have more money if you bought gold. Just a fact. Another fact. People don't like facts, do they? They clash with the narrative. They clash with the lies, the propaganda, the sales pitch. It's a fact. Okay. So what else have we got? Number 9, the last one, Egon von Greyerz. I think it's Greyez. He's a very good sound guy. Again, looking at the relationship between silver and gold and what will happen. Now here he says that he can see silver going down to a 20 multiple, or gold being a multiple, 20 multiple of silver. In other words, the gold price is 20, the silver price. Well, gold at the moment is 3.5, isn't it, this morning? Or 3.6 actually. So that would put silver at 180 and it's 41. So you can see the potential. We've said this ever since I started. The potential is bigger in silver. It's bigger in silver. It's safer, sounder, more definite, if you like, in gold. But the ratio is so distorted now. 3.6 gold, 41 silver. That's 90, isn't it? Near enough, 90. The average over the long term is 30 to 40. The average in a crisis goes down to 15 to 20. Von Greyerz sees it at 20. If you see it at 20, you see 4 times the potential of silver to increase than gold. Silver will increase 4 times what gold increases. That's why I have my silver stack in the silver miners. That's why I increased it last week. I don't care whether it goes up or down in the last few days, next few days. I really don't care. I'm in it for the journey. I'm in it for the certainty. And there's another example of how silver will outperform gold. But you should have a balanced portfolio. You should have some gold, some silver, okay? Some crypto. In my world, I've gone for crypto because we might go that way, okay? The world needs a new financial system. There's all that debt that Alasdair Macleod talked about in that video. All that debt has to be refinanced or whatever. It can't. Simple, can't. So there has to be a new system. And that will be precious metal backed or crypto backed or both. That's where we are. Okay. Thank you very much. Please, anyone in England, please do not sit on your backside and watch the television on Saturday. Get out there. This could be your last chance. And the more that parade on Saturday, the bigger message is sent around the world. France is doing the same now. France are flying the flag. This is going to spread around the West. It's going to spread. Be part of it, please. Thank you very much.